Is this thing on? I think that's pretty self-evident, that I'm starting off with literally nothing. But, without further ado, here we go. Hi, my name is Gabrielle, and I am beginning my journey to starting my small local business. The name of my brand is called Melrose Haven, and it is inspired by the matriarchs in my family. And what I mean by that is the homemaking, love, and good food that I grew up on. Uh, my heritage is Jamaican. I've lived here in the United States for most of my life, but I spent a good deal of my childhood living outside of the country, going to school in Jamaica. My brand Melrose Haven is actually a combination between the name of the province that I lived in Jamaica and the neighborhood that I lived in the United States growing up. And I'm starting with nothing. I've been doing research for about a year now. I came up with this idea for a gift for a family friend. And from there, I just figured this would be a great idea to share with other people. And so here we are. And what I mean by nothing, I mean no experience, no sales, nothing at all. Usually, when I'm watching other small creators, they are about 6 months in and they're talking about how they've made $10,000 and doing all this stuff. And I'm like, man, where's the inception stories? Where's the people that literally are just starting and figuring it out? So hopefully, this won't just fall out into the echo chamber of the internet and I can really find a community because I feel like I've got something pretty fun and pretty good here. All that I do have right now is a little bit of inventory that I worked on for the past year. A half built Shopify website and a can do attitude, honestly. There's a few people that I know that have been interested, but they are really supportive about me, launching and doing the full website thing. Um, I have currently a spring and summer collection that's ready to go, ready for sales, but it's just a matter of doing my Shopify website. And without further ado, let's do this together. So, in regards to the small amount of inventory that I currently have 16 aprons. They're completely handmade. I created the patterns for them as well. I do use patterns, but that's more so in my personal wardrobe. I do not want to be using anyone else's patterns for the things that I'm selling because, one, I think that's unfair to the creator of the patterns. And I think that for myself, there's a little bit of pride in coming up with the designs, testing the patterns myself, because I always will make an apron for myself and then I'll wear it. I'll hard test it, I will wash it, and spill things all over it, figure out what kind of products will get out stains. And the good thing about the types of materials that I'm using is that I'm using 100% cotton. I think that's important, one, because it's a little bit safer and it makes it a lot easier to wash. I do pre-wash the fabric, so there isn't any risk of it shrinking on anyone. I do also want to note that I make it in two sizes because of the way that the pattern that I made, the small/large size can fit about a size 0 up to 12, and then the medium large is everyone else. And I want to be mindful not to use sizes like 0 and things like that, because I just don't really think it exists, in my personal opinion. I think that we're all different, and I want to really hold myself to a standard of not making anyone feel like, oh, they don't have my size, so it's fine. Like, if you are or feel like you can't wear the small slash large, you more than likely can. It's just sort of an inventory thing. And then I also have matching headbands to go with each of the aprons, and then additionally the scrunchies go with them. Like you can have a whole ensemble. I made super stretchy ones because I have very thick hair and I want to make a product that is delicate enough for thinner hair, but also strong enough to hold, large curls, thicker hair, and even locks like mine. For branding, I wanted to go a little bit with a floral sort of theme. Fresh flowers or even fake flowers is actually what I grew up in because my mother did not have time to be watering any type of flowers or anything like that. So I went with these just plain um, paper, they fold. And so what I did was I got a stamp and I put handmade on the front, and then I got another stamp and I put this beautiful little floral design all over it. And I think it matches into sort of yet um, the simplistic yet I don't know, homely vibe of wanting greenery and like a nice feng shui interior. Again, this is just my spring and summer collection, I'm calling it, because that makes me feel fancy. And here are the matching Cynthia blue scrunchies that I made with it. And my plan is to be able to hang them up. And I just got a mini stapler and I just put it right in the top to hold it instead of tape. And then it has the handmade right on the back. So again, this is the front and this is the back. And you can see that they're pretty stretchy, and then they are very ruffled, and I think that's very cute. But my favorite my favorite one is the scrunchy headbands. Now they're not too outrageous, so you can wear them just in your everyday life if you have a cute little blue outfit. You can just wear whenever you want, and then it's the same thing with the front and the back. I have a pegboard, like the one bat that I have all of my extra sewing supplies on, and that's my plan on how to advertise them. I can't find my other ones, my rosy pink scrunchies, but here is the headband, and I did the same thing. I finally worked out how much I'm going to price these at, and of course, I do want to make a livable wage, which is about 20 an hour. And so these are going to be cheaper, significantly cheaper. I learned about the term called a loss leader, meaning that you just sell them for a lower price in order to get people interested in the main product, which is the apron. And I'll show you that in a little bit. Again, these are made out of the same 100% cotton. I used an extra durable, non-rolling elastic in the back. And I did that for the purpose of not having it sort of like itch and like scrape at the back of your neck. Because like when I've had other versions of these, they always just get hitched on the knots of my hair. And again, I have thick hair, so it's just like much easier for that kind of thing to happen. Again, they're made with the same cotton fabric that I make the aprons out of. I got this idea because I wanted to do something with the scraps. My intention is to make as little waste as possible. I don't like just throwing away fabric, especially when it's good and say there's like several yards worth of it still in there. I think it would be great to keep it all still, within the family and have something else and have something extra. And say you don't want to constantly be in the kitchen, or you like the pattern of it and you want to wear it outside because you have a really cute like croquette outfit or something. I think this would be great for that. Um, Again, they are machine washable, so say the hair oils and your hair get on them and you're like, oh, it's sort of changing the color, because hair oils do that naturally. You can just throw this into the washer with your normal laundry and you'll be perfectly fine. They will puff right back up. They won't lose their shape or anything like that.
Okay, so this is me wearing the Cynthia Blue apron, spinning around. I filmed this a few months ago. Unfortunately, when I filmed this, I filmed it vertically, so you can't quite see the bottom. But I do have a YouTube short showing the whole of the blue apron. The pink has a little bit of a different design, but the concept is essentially the same. So feel free to check that out.
So considering that I am trying to launch really soon, I want to make some oven mitts. I think oven mitts are super underrated. No one really talks about oven mitts, and to have a matching oven mitt with your apron, I think would be great. I think it's pretty scalable in that regard as well, because when I do different collections going forward, it can also include different oven mitts. It would be great for an additional gift to someone. Say you don't want to just give them the standard candle, you can give them oven mitts if they really like to bake, or you can just give them an apron. So also I want to be mindful of the gift giving aspect of it, which is why I got an embroidery machine. I found this embroidery machine from Facebook Marketplace. This was the embroidery machine that I have been looking at for a year, and it typically retails at its most basic type, with just the machine and a few presser feet for $500. And I don't got that kind of money. But one day when I was looking for a coffee table for my place, I decided, hey, let me just check it out. Let me just see if there's an embroidery machine on there. And I found it for an amazing price. I had to take a little drive to get to it, but it was worth it in the end. So, an additional part of what I want to do, and I would love to do, is to make these aprons into heirloom products. Meaning that, say, you want to give it to a family member who loves to bake or loves to cook, or who is super into hosting and they don't want to get their clothes dirty. I want to be able to do custom embroidery with this. There is no warranty on it, so I'm not gonna, I can't go back to them if it ever breaks and say, hey, fix this. And if they ask me if I'd use it for business purposes and say, yeah, I did, they won't help me. I found that out the hard way, especially with this heavy duty. This was the first sewing machine that I invested in 2022. I still use this a lot to get through really, really big ones, but this is going to be my fine detail one. So yeah, for the oven mitts, my plan is to use this called Insole Bright. I just got 3 yards of this. It is pretty cool. It also can be placed into bags, like shopping bags, and that might be an avenue of something that I want to do going forward, especially if I have even more scraps, is to make tote bags. But it is like a batting, but it has this temperature controlled shiny layer on the inside. I don't know if you can see it, but you can hear it. Yeah, it's in there. Um, and so I'm going to be making some oven mitts and some pot holders, and hopefully we can get these looking exactly right. I want to do sort of a crossed pattern, like a quilting pattern on there, to make sure it's really in there, and it protects your hands. Of course, most oven mitts are standardized at this point, but if you can have a matching set, why not have a matching set? And if you can put your name on them, why not put your name on them? So I've been working since I was barely 18. I got my first job cleaning hockey locker rooms in college, and I have been working ever since, just trying to do the grind because that's what I was always taught to do. Every time that I had sort of an idea to do something creative and something that lied within my passions and my loves, I was surrounded by people that were just on the grind or were in positions where they couldn't really see the bottom anymore. And so it was easy to just sort of shoot down a different avenue, a different way of living life. And I was really discouraged by that because a lot of the people that I would tell, I really looked up to. And so I took their word for it. They were usually 10 years older than me, and I just assumed that they were correct. And I never tried. I just sort of like pushed it to the side, pushed it to the side, pushed it to the side. But this year, in October, I got engaged to the love of my life, and he made me realize that there are different ways to live life, and it doesn't need to just be put your head down to make someone else money. So this year, I want to make the year that I actually do this. And what's pushing me so hard, not only that the sun is out, but with the prospects of family planning going to be coming and all that real stuff in life besides just work, I usually would think to myself, man, what if one day my kid asks me if I love what I'm doing? And I have to tell them, no, I don't. And they say, well, what do you want to do? And I say, oh, I wanted to do this. I wanted to own my own business. I wanted to make people smile. I wanted to create heirloom products that could be passed down from generation to generation. And say, I never tried to make my dream come true. I was too scared. I mean, what does that say to them? And it makes me sad just thinking about it. I don't even have kids. And it makes me sad thinking about telling my child that I never even tried to live my dreams. Would they even listen to me if they had a dream or aspirations? Like, Mom, you never even tried to do what you wanted to do. So whatever happens with this, I will be proud of the fact that I tried and that I put myself out there and that I made a conscious effort to make it happen in any way that I could. And I do have a plan of how this can work. I am very interested in being small and local and branch out from there. But what I mean by small and local is that I want to build within my community in my area. So that means going into specialty shops and meeting and having discourse with the owners of those shops and really learning how to get into those spaces and if they would be interested in my products. Now, I am going to be launching my own website and I'm going to be doing it myself, but ideally that's what the route that I want to take. Also going to vendor markets and meeting with people face to face. Surprisingly, with all of my anxiety and all of my woes with talking to people throughout my life, I'm actually kind of good at it. I'm good with having discourse and rapport with people. I enjoy it too. I enjoy the energy and the liveliness of it all. So also, not only do I want to launch my own website by the end of this month, I also would love to go to my first vendor market. I have enough product for it. I have my brand identity down. I have my story down. I have my marketing and messaging down. But I would love to meet people in that way. I would love for people to be able to feel the fabric, see what it looks like, everything. I envision it all in my head. It's all there. But it's a matter of making it happen. And within the next 3 months, I have planned for myself. I've made a conscious decision that by the end of June this year, 2025, is going to be the last job that I work for anyone else. Going forward, I want to work for me, work for my future, work for my family and be proud of that in a way that I don't have around me. I don't see anyone else around me doing it. I see everyone, not everyone, but I see a good amount of people from what I've done research on trying and succeeding. And I think it's important to share the small steps. So we're going to take a journey together. I hope it's a good one. There definitely will be bumps in the road, questions, confusions, and I will just try my best and be my hard working self. If I can work hard for someone else, definitely should be able to do it for myself. There's no way that I can't do what I do to make someone else money, to even just bring myself happiness. Honestly, that's the first thing that I want to do. I just want to be happy. I want to wake up at 6:30 in the morning and be like, okay, it's time to go to work, and be ecstatic about it instead of, oh, I've got to go, and be sad that it's a beautiful day outside and I'm sitting in an office. I have my own office. I love my little space, my little nook, and I'm so happy to be sharing it finally with people, other like-minded people. Genuine or not, I'm just excited.